All right, he said a few things upon leaving the White House. Now the president is in Philly, expected to address the second assassination attempt on former President Trump. He's being greeted now. Let's go ahead and listen in and see what he has to say.
Me to the dance. Folks, I want to get something straight at the outset. I love Kamala. But Delaware State's the best HBCU in America. They're the ones that, you think I'm kidding. I was a 29-year-old kid, and they embraced me. They embraced me like you can't imagine. And we won the second youngest person in American history because of HBCU called Delaware State. And by the way, I hired a young man from Delaware State named Tony Allen. Came to work for me. While there, I encouraged him to continue to extend his degree. He got his doctorate and left. He became president himself. I don't know how the hell that happened so quick. But Tony, thank you, man. I've been introduced countless times, but never quite like that. And I mean it, Tony, from the bottom of my heart. I'm deeply moved. By God's grace, we're true friends, and Delaware State will always have a special place in my heart, for real. And to the presidents and administrators of our 101 historic black colleges and universities, it's an honor to celebrate, and I mean celebrate, HBCU Week with you. Before I begin, I want to make a quick reference. The attempted assassination against our former president in Florida yesterday. I commend the Secret Service for the expert handling of the situation. And the former president is protected from harm, and the subject is in custody. An acting head of the Secret Service is in Florida today assessing what happened and determining whether any further adjustments need to be made to ensure the safety of our former president. Let me just say, there is no, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, those of you who know me, many of you do, no place in political violence for political violence in America. None. Zero. Never. I've always condemned political violence. I always will in America. In America, we resolve our differences peacefully at the ballot box, not at the end of a gun. America suffered too many times the tragedy of an assassin's bullet. It solves nothing and just tears the country apart. We must do everything we can to prevent it and never give it any oxygen. But others
all right, President Biden is there making remarks at the 2024 National HBCU Conference this week, but he did take a moment once again to acknowledge the second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. He said he commended the Secret Service. He is glad that the former president is not harmed, that the suspect is in custody, and now the acting head of the Secret Service, Ron Rowe, is there in Mar-a-Lago just assessing what the needs are and if indeed the former president needs extra security, again to condemning political violence, saying there is no room for that in our country right now. We should take out our grievances by going to the ballot box and voting for the candidate, of course, that you want. For more, let's bring in our senior White House correspondent, Selena Wang, also senior reporter Catherine Falter. She's there in Palm Beach. So, Selena, again, he is waiting on the acting head of the Secret Service right now just to make an assessment on what is necessary here. But we did have a chance to talk with Congressman Rowe, who is on that committee investigating the first assassination attempt, Jason Crow, rather. And, you know, they're trying to figure out, you know, is this a unique situation where they need more agencies? You know, are we dealing with an agency that is strapped right now? Or did something go wrong within protocol and preparing for an event like this? I mean, that's yet to be determined as the investigation continues. But clearly the president is still coming forward, commending the Secret Service and, you know, banking on that assessment.
Yeah, Kira, but earlier in the day, of course, President Biden had said that the U.S. Secret Service needs more help. And last night in his statement, he said that he's directed his team to ensure that the Secret Service has all the resources they need to ensure the safety of former President Donald Trump. But I really think the key takeaway, the key message that the president was trying to convey there in his remarks at the top of that speech was that there is no place in America for political violence. This is a message President Biden has been sharing ever since the first attempted assassination assassination against former President Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania just 2 months ago. Remember, after that assassination attempt, the president delivered an Oval Office address to the American people with a similar message, calling for unity, calling for a dialing down of the political rhetoric and the political temperature here. Vice President Harris last night as well had a similar message condemning political violence, saying we need to do everything we can to ensure that more violence does not ensue. But of course, now we're just 50 days away from the election, and law enforcement officials, they are on high alert. They say that this is the most concerning threat environment since 9/11. They have seen threats against politicians, political groups, and hate crimes all on the rise, Kira. And it appears that this week, neither Donald Trump nor Vice President Harris are slowing down their campaigning. They've both got very busy schedules this week, and Donald Trump, of course, already fundraising off of this second attempted assassination.
Yeah, as he did the first time around. And Catherine, you're still there in Palm Beach. Any update from authorities there on the suspect? We know he was in court, charged. There could be more charges possibly. Bring us up to date on what we know.
Yeah, earlier this morning, the suspect was in court, 2 gun-related charges, but those are likely just preliminary. He hasn't been indicted yet. This is a criminal complaint that has been unsealed. Of course, the FBI is investigating an attempted assassination. We haven't seen charges to that effect yet, but that's likely because this is still the beginning of their investigation. So in terms of what's next there will be an initial, another appearance, if you will, a detention appearance, and we'll probably see prosecutors between now and then. The 23rd, on September 23rd is when the next appearance is. They'll probably issue some sort of memorandum saying why they believe that he should remain detained. We're likely to learn more about any additional investigative steps that they have taken between now and then in a filing such as that. But just to bring you up to date in terms of where I am right now, we're standing outside Trump National. This street over here, which lines the golf course, you can see the tree-lined golf course with the bushes, is still closed down. We are expecting, according to our sources, the acting director of the Secret Service to brief former President Trump in person. That will happen later this afternoon. A similar briefing occurred after the Butler, Pennsylvania attempted assassination there. So the acting director will speak to the former president, and then we are expecting the acting director, along with officials from the FBI and local law enforcement, here to hold a press conference later this afternoon at 4 p.m. Of course, there's still lots of unanswered questions associated with this investigation, one of which in details that we're learning, Kira, in that criminal complaint is that this suspect was able to be in the vicinity of this club for 12 hours before Secret Service engaged him and saw the barrel of the gun through one of the hedges of the bushes. So questions about how he was able to be here for that long of a period of time. I know that our reporters will be there asking those questions, but certainly questions that the FBI and the Secret Service will need to answer in terms of where the investigation stands now.
All right, Selena, Catherine, thanks so much.